In 1988, a 3-year-old boy named Andrew 10 was dying. He needed to fly from Los Angeles to New York for emergency medical treatment. No commercial airline would take him. The equipment keeping him alive was too heavy, too complex, too much liability. His father called everyone. Every airline said no. Then someone gave him a private number. Within hours, a Boeing 727 landed. The boy, his parents, and all the equipment were flown to New York at no cost. The plane belonged to Donald Trump, the same man who would lose more money than any individual taxpayer in American history and stage what the Guinness Book of Records called the biggest financial turnaround ever. The same man who would become the 45th President of the United States without ever holding a single day of public office. The story of how he got there isn't about politics. It's about audacity.
Donald John Trump. Born June 14, 1946 in Queens, New York. 45th and 47th President of the United States. Founder of the Trump Organization. Host of The Apprentice for 15 seasons. Star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame inductee. 6 corporate bankruptcies, 3 marriages, 2 impeachments, $1 billion comeback. But here's what makes Donald Trump different. He didn't climb any ladder. He went from reality television to the Oval Office with 0 political experience, 0 military rank, and 0 interest in doing things the way they'd always been done. Trump once said, "Sometimes by losing a battle, you find a new way to win the war." Here are 5 lessons from a man whose career was built on one thing: the audacity to act when no one thought he should.
Lesson 1. Your name is your product. In the early 1970s, Donald Trump was working for his father's company building middle-class housing in Brooklyn. Functional buildings, no glamour. He wanted Manhattan. His father thought it was a terrible idea. In 1978, he developed the Grand Hyatt Hotel next to Grand Central Terminal, took a dying building and wrapped it in reflective glass. Then came Trump Tower in 1983, a 58-story skyscraper on Fifth Avenue with his name in gold letters. Nobody in real estate was branding buildings like that. The industry thought it was vulgar. Trump said, "We set out to sell Trump Tower not just as a beautiful building in a great location, but as an event." By the late 1980s, the name Trump was worth more than the buildings themselves. He had turned a surname into a brand before branding was a business category. The lesson? Most people hide behind their work and hope someone notices. The audacious move is to make your name the product and then make sure everyone knows it.
Lesson 2. Owe enough and the bank works for you. By 1990, Donald Trump was $3.2 billion in debt. The New York Post ran the headline, "Uh-oh." His airline had never turned a profit. 3 casinos filed for bankruptcy in a single year. He wrote in The Art of the Comeback, "By the spring of 1990, I was deeply in the red. My empire was hemorrhaging value." But he owed so much that the banks couldn't afford to let him fail. His brand was the only thing generating value. So instead of calling in the lows, the banks restructured. They kept him alive because killing him would cost them more. Trump said, "The lowest point was in the early 1990s. I owed billions, and many people thought I was finished. I refused to give in to the negative circumstances, and I never lost faith in myself." The Guinness Book of Records later listed his recovery as the biggest financial turnaround in history. The lesson? When you owe $1,000, the bank owns you. When you owe $1 billion, you own the bank. That's not advice, it's a warning about the scale at which audacity operates.
Lesson 3. The discipline that tragedy teaches. Donald Trump has never had a drink of alcohol, never smoked, never used drugs. The reason is his older brother, Fred Trump Jr. Fred was the firstborn, handsome, charming, but he didn't want the family business. He wanted to fly planes. He became a pilot for TWA. Their father was furious. He and Donald mocked Fred Jr.'s career, comparing it to being a bus driver. The pressure destroyed him. Fred became an alcoholic and died of a heart attack in 1981. He was 42. Trump later admitted, "I do regret having put pressure on him. It was just not his thing. The mistake we made was we assumed everybody would like it." Fred Jr.'s advice to his younger brother was simple: don't ever drink. Trump listened. At state dinners, while world leaders raise champagne, he raises Diet Coke. He told an audience he had a problem with alcohol. He would tell me, "Don't drink." He really helped me. I had somebody that guided me. The lesson? Some of the most powerful lessons come from watching someone you love lose everything. The question is whether you're paying attention. Lesson 4. Turn the camera into a weapon. By the early 2000s, Trump's real estate reputation was damaged. 6 bankruptcies, Atlantic City collapsing,
The media treated him as a relic of the 1980s. Then producer Mark Burnett called. In 2004, The Apprentice debuted on NBC. Trump sat behind a desk and told contestants, "You're fired." The show averaged 20 million viewers in its first season. But here's what most people miss. The Apprentice didn't just entertain, it rebuilt his public image from bankrupt casino owner to brilliant business mind. The boardroom was staged, but the perception became reality. As one PBS Frontline documentary noted, he was seen for quite a long time as a punchline. The Apprentice turned all of that on its head. Trump said, "Most reporters have very little interest in exploring the substance of a detailed proposal. They look instead for the sensational angle." He gave them the angle, every time. The lesson? When the facts aren't in your favor, change the narrative. Most people wait for results before telling their story. The audacious move is to tell the story first and let the results catch up.
Lesson 5. Act before you're invited. On June 16, 2015, Donald Trump descended a golden escalator in Trump Tower and announced he was running for president. He had never held elected office, never served in the military, never worked in government. 16 Republican candidates stood in his way. Every major poll said he would lose. He won. He became the first president in American history with no prior political or military service. Whatever you think about the politics, and this episode isn't about the politics, the structural audacity is undeniable. He broke every rule of how you're supposed to get to the White House, and he did it on live television while everyone told him it couldn't be done. Trump said, "I wasn't satisfied just to earn a good living. I was looking to make a statement." The lesson? The biggest moves in life are the ones nobody gives you permission to make. Audacity doesn't ask, it acts.
Now, some things you probably don't know about Donald Trump. First, he has a cameo in Home Alone 2. The film shot scenes at the Plaza Hotel, which Trump owned. Macaulay Culkin asks him for directions in the lobby. The scene is 10 seconds long. It caused an international incident in 2019 when Canada's CBC cut it from a holiday broadcast, and Trump supporters went ballistic. Second, the villain in Back to the Future Part 2 was based on him. Biff Tannen, the bully who uses time travel to become a rich, corrupt, casino-owning politician. Screenwriter Bob Gale confirmed it. The film came out in 1989. 27 years later, it became reality. Third, he shaved Vince McMahon's head at WrestleMania. In 2007, Trump and the WWE chairman wagered on a wrestling match. The loser's head gets shaved. Trump's wrestler won. He grabbed the clippers himself. He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013. Fourth, he is a germaphobe who became the most handshaking man on earth. Trump has admitted he hates shaking hands and avoids doorknobs. He once told Howard Stern his germophobia could be a psychological problem. Then he became president, a job that is nothing but shaking hands. Fifth, the full story behind the plane. In 1988, 3-year-old Andrew 10 needed emergency transport from Los Angeles to New York. Commercial airlines refused because of his medical equipment. The family had no connection to Trump. They called his office as a last resort. Trump sent his personal Boeing 727 free of charge. The boy's father told the media he is a good man. The boy's grandmother called Trump a miracle. That's Donald Trump.
Donald Trump didn't build his career on talent or likability or consensus. He built it on audacity. He put his name in gold on a building when the industry called it vulgar and turned that name into a global brand. He owed $3.2 billion when everyone said he was finished and leveraged the debt into a comeback. He watched his brother die from alcoholism and turned the tragedy into lifelong discipline. He took a reality TV show and rebuilt an image that bankruptcy had destroyed. And he ran for the highest office in the world with zero experience and won. Trump once said, "In the end, you are measured not by how much you undertake, but by what you finally accomplished." You're not waiting for permission. You either act or you don't. If you want to go deeper, read The Art of the Comeback by Donald Trump, not for the advice, but for the mechanics of clawing back from negative $900 million. Also watch the PBS Frontline documentary, Trump's Comeback. Subscribe if you're done waiting for permission to act.